Hello YouTube, my name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. In this discussion, we're going to look at the type of planetary transits that you can use for weight loss or body transformation. We're going to be looking at the planet Uranus. Yes, there are Uranus transits that can help you lose weight. Keep in mind that with the planet Uranus, the methods you may use could be considered rather radical, unhealthy, controversial. However, whichever way you look at it, they will result in weight loss. I'm sure there are many other transits out there that can help you lose weight, but in this series we're going to focus on the ones that I've personally experienced and the ones that I know about. Also keep in mind that you may never get some of these transits because of how long they take to orbit around the zodiac. Specifically the outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus. Also the South Node, which is a point in astrology. So this entire series is worth watching because you want to know which transits you're definitely never going to have, and which transits you're actually going to have so that you can benefit from them. I'm briefly going to touch on the Loi. Loi is Lord of the Year in Hellenistic astrology. That is the planet that's ruling you for the year. If this planet happens to be ruling one of the planets that I will discuss, then this is going to be much more impactful. The same situation applies for your Mahadasha Lord in Vedic astrology. That is your time lord, the planet that is ruling you for a certain period of time. If that planet is activated or ruling one of the houses that I'm going to discuss, then that planet is going to be much more impactful for that entire period. I'm also going to tell you about the transit I was having, the transit that prompted me to start my own weight loss journey. You're going to need your natal birth chart in order to benefit from this discussion. So go to astro.com and get your free natal birth chart at that website. I use their charts because they're easy to read and learn. Uranus has an 84-year cycle, so it's very rare that we get it to transit certain houses. Some people may not benefit from Uranus transit simply because it's not transiting the houses that are essential for weight loss. If you live until 84, you will get all the Uranus transit. Uranus takes 7 years to transit each sign. Keep in mind that this transit is not going to specifically start from the order of first house until the 12th house. So it could happen that when it transits in the house that's beneficial to weight loss, you're too young or perhaps too old to take advantage of it. Anyone can benefit from Uranus transiting the houses that I'll mention, but some people will benefit much more because it's their ruling planet. If you're an Aquarius, Uranus is your ruling planet, so essentially it rules your ascendant. When it transits conjunct your ascendant, it will be much more impactful for you. You will benefit much more than anyone else from this transit. And if you're a Virgo ascendant, that means Aquarius is your 6th house, so Uranus rules your 6th house. You can also benefit much more from this transit. If you're a Capricorn ascendant, Aquarius is your 2nd house. So Uranus rules this house in conjunction with Saturn. Aquarius, Capricorn, and Virgos are the ones who are going to benefit much more because Uranus rules these houses that are essential to weight loss. Uranus energy is rebellious, it's radical. It's also very destabilizing type of energy. So we have to keep this in mind because it can make us very accident prone. Anxiety and heart attacks are also very common while you're having a Uranus transit. You may begin a very radical type of diet or exercise regimen, so it's very likely that you're going to face ridicule and judgment from others. Your loved ones may think that you're behaving or acting very weird. They may start to think you're developing mental problems, and perhaps you are. I would like to hear what type of transits you were having when you lost weight. Please leave me a comment in the comment section below this video. Other viewers will benefit from hearing about your experience, so please share. If you're enjoying the content of this video, please hit like and subscribe. Also share my videos on your social media or with your friends and family. You just never know who needs to hear this message. You'll be helping them and you'll be helping my channel grow. I truly appreciate that. So let's begin. Find your ascendant. Find the planet that rules your ascendant, because if Uranus is transiting the planet that rules your ascendant, it could have the same effect. Also find your second house and locate your sixth house. When Uranus transits your ascendant, this will impact you more if you're an Aquarius ascendant, Sun, Moon, or if you have a stellium in Aquarius or a stellium in the sixth house that's being transited by Uranus. You will feel this transit instantly. You may feel electrified, almost like you've been zapped by this energy. You'll want to change your appearance in a radical way. Perhaps you'll get a bunch of tattoos, or you may color your hair red. You will definitely want to rebel in some way. And if you're overweight, you could start losing weight without any effort. Uranus will increase your metabolism and perhaps even cause you some anxiety. You're going to feel overcharged with energy. You will become restless, and as a result, you have increased activity, which will naturally lead to weight loss. When Uranus transits your second house, this will impact you more if you're a Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn Sun, Moon, stellium in Capricorn, or a stellium in your second house. The second house rules over the mouth. So what we put in our mouth, what we love to eat. Some people tend to lose their appetite when Uranus is transiting here. You might not feel hungry because you're so wired up and charged up with energy. Or perhaps you're too busy working. This is the house also of earned income. So Uranus could make you become a workaholic. You could be that person who's always working and forgets to eat. Some people may also experiment with different types of diets. Some of these diets could be quite extreme or radical. It's very likely that you change your diet in some extreme way. Either you decide to become vegetarian or vegan, or you decide to start eating gluten-free, or some other type of fancy diet that I haven't heard of. If you've been wanting to make this type of change, this is an excellent time for you to try it. On the negative side, some people may develop an aversion to certain types of food. Some people could actually develop food allergies during this transit. I dated somebody who has natal Uranus in the second house. This guy would not eat anything that has onions in it. I mean, everything is cooked with onions. How do you not eat food with onions? So he's naturally skinny and cannot gain any weight no matter how much he tries. He has an incredibly fast metabolism. Uranus transiting the sixth house. This transit will impact you more if you're a Virgo ascendant, Sun, Moon, or stellium in Virgo, or if you have a stellium in your sixth house and Uranus transits over it. This is the house of what we do on a daily basis. Our diet, our exercise regimen, our work, and our health. It is also the house of our known enemies. So essentially, our bad eating habits could become our known enemy because it's going to eventually lead to disease. Some people may start looking at food as their enemy instead of examining their own self-sabotaging habits. So perhaps you're going to get some bad news about your health, and then you decide to begin a very radical and controversial type of diet or type of exercise. It could be an extreme type of diet that only allows a small amount of calories, or some other type of different and unhealthy type of diet. The result here will still be weight loss. So it will be unhealthy behavior, but it will lead to weight loss. This transit could also lead to major anxiety, especially if Uranus is conjuncting your moon. This will give you emotional problems that could lead to mental disease. Anxiety can also lead to digestive problems or some other type of major health problems. These type of diseases could also lead to major weight loss. So perhaps some people will start some type of radical exercise regimen or join a boot camp or some other different type of exercises that we haven't heard of. Some people may start over exercising, perhaps staying on the treadmill for like 2 hours because they have so much pent up energy in their system and they need to get it out. When you're having a Uranus transit to your sixth house, it's going to be very difficult for you to just sit around and for you to just sit around and be lazy. Uranus wants to destabilize this house, so he's going to push you into activity. So be careful to not end up harming your health because of your radical exercise regimen, or perhaps because of your radical and unconventional type of diet. Keep in mind that Uranus takes 7 years to transit a house, and Uranus is also known to bring up diseases that are difficult to diagnose. You may not know what it is you're suffering from. You may not get a diagnosis until Uranus leaves your 6th house. So if you started bad eating habits and perhaps became bulimic or anorexic, you might have to deal with that for several years. If your 6th house is bigger than 30 degrees, 30 degrees is the normal size of a house, then you might have to deal with this disease for a longer time. It could be 8 or 9 years. And from what we've seen from people suffering from bulimia or anorexia, it takes them sometimes a few years to overcome it. In summary, Uranus in the 6th house can make you become really brave to try something new and radical. Alternative methods to lose weight, but unfortunately you could be also harming your health. So if you know somebody who is bulimic or anorexic, they're probably having a Uranus transit to their 6th house, and they developed bad eating habits, a radical type of diet and exercise regimen. So this is something you definitely have to look out for. So be careful what type of diet or exercise routine that you initiate when Uranus is transiting your 6th house. So if you're serious about losing weight and using astrological transits, you want to know when these transits are happening in your chart, I suggest you book a reading with me at rachel-mayo.com. Also remember to hit like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so that you may be notified whenever I upload new videos. I will be uploading more videos to this series.